I kid you not, this took me till the middle of the night to edit. Hello everybody, I'm Anyone for Gaming. I'm that movie guy and video game guy and that guy that's on YouTube. Anyway, a video that I've been kind of procrastinating for a bit is I missed 2 months, November and December, and I'm very sorry for that. I'm just procrastinating and I'm not too good at YouTube. But we'll be going over what I watched these months. So also I will be having some gameplay in the background, so enjoy that as well. New thing I'm doing. Anyway, I'm going to be talking about what I watched these months. So I'm doing 2 of these videos. This video is going to be broken up into stages. First stage being November, and second stage being December. And yeah, so let's get into it. And to start off November, I started off with a movie called Kentucky Fried Movie, a series of short, highly irreverent and often tasteless skits. Kentucky Fried Movie, directed by John Landis, writers David Zucker, Jim Abrahams, Jerry Zucker, stars Even Z. Kim, Boo Soo-han, Bill Bixby. Now, what do I think about this movie? I thought this was hilarious and one of the best skit movies I've seen. I just think it's funny. It's just hilarious. It's really just a good fun movie. And it's just I just really liked it. I thought it was really well acted, really well written, really funny, and has some literally genuinely laugh out loud skits. Although I did feel like near the end it kind of dropped down to pretty dark humor near the end, which wasn't necessarily my type. But I thought it was hilarious. And it is a actually great movie, and I recommend it if you don't get offended easily. Okay, then I watched Eternals. Literal garbage. Okay, I'm done. Listen, I don't need to say it, okay? So many plot holes, so much things about it, so much cringe, so much just shit in this film. I could shit on it for hours, but I'm not gonna, because I don't want to take this video up. So, I'm just gonna say, only watch Eternals if you're trying to get caught up in the Marvel Universe, and if you don't give a shit, don't watch it. It's literally trash. And I'm just going to say something. This is what happens when you get fucking Cole Zhao, who directed, what the fuck is it? He directed Nomadland. And, I think, a movie about lesbians who ride horses. I mean, that's fine. But, I don't know if that's a great pick for Marvel. You know? 2 horses movies. And Nomadland, okay? And I didn't particularly like Nomadland that much. I know, yell at me in the comments, I don't care. But this is why you don't get her for a fucking Marvel movie. Anyway, that's what I had to say. Then I watched Step Brothers. Now, this is a movie that I watched again, so I guess I rewatched it with Danger, but it hadn't been for a while. And it just made me remember how hilarious this was, so I guess I was watching 2 comedies here. But just made me remember how absolutely hilarious this was, and just how much of a laugh out loud time I had. Will Ferrell is literally probably the funniest actor ever, in my opinion. One of the funniest I've ever seen. Every movie he's in, he just makes me crack up. And this was a great movie, and it's, directed by Adam McKay, he's slowly becoming one of my favorite directors, because, I'll get into this in January, but I recently saw Don't Look Up, and, I'm just going to give you a little hint. it is literally genius. Anyway, he is a great director, and I like seeing how Adam McKay's direction is kind of shifting to, like, from less just goofy kind of comedy to more kind of political and satirical comedy, and I just think he's a great director. Anyway, this is actually a hilarious movie, and I also, how can I talk about it with not also talking about John C. Reilly, because I mean he's hilarious as well. He's not as good as Will Ferrell, but I still think he did really good. But it's a great funny movie. I recommend. Although I did think the scene where Will Ferrell's like licking the dog poop or bird poop or whatever is pretty gross. And yeah. Anyway, that's what I have to say about Step Brothers. Alright, so then I watched Starman, directed by John Carpenter. And Jeff Bridges is in it, so that's cool. I definitely like this movie. It's probably my favorite John Carpenter film. It's just a great film. It's so good and so magical, and I love the romance story, and I love the whole just story about it, and about, well, I don't know if it was romance. I mean, I did see it like a month ago, so I can't really remember, but what it's about is an alien takes the form of a young constant widow's husband and makes her drive him to his departure point in Arizona. Distrustful government agents, along with a more ambivalent scientist, gives pursuit in hopes of intercepting them. So it's just a great movie. I highly recommend checking out. It's very Spielbergy, in my opinion. It's a lot like Spielberg, but that's definitely not a bad thing, as I love Spielberg. But I think it is a really great movie, and you should check it out. I feel like it needs more popularity, honestly, Starman, because I mean, it's popular, but it's kind of like a cult classic, I feel like, and it's not really like more popular. It should be more popular than it is. And Jeff Bridges, I love his acting. Big Lebowski, True Grit, Starman, great. Just a great actor. Okay, then I watched Big Trouble in Little China. A rough and tumble trucker and his sidekick face off with an ancient sorcerer in a supernatural battle beneath Chinatown. John Carpenter, Kurt Russell, Kim Cattrall, Dennis Dunn, James Hong. This is a great film. It's pretty wacky. It's just a fun time, honestly. It's not necessarily like a cinematic masterpiece, but it's just a fun movie to watch. Great martial arts. Kurt Russell, one of my favorite actors. Definitely give it a watch. And another John Carpenter movie, actually. Really like John Carpenter as a director, but this is actually a great film. It's just fun. I mean, you should check it out. Alright, so then I watched Jojo Rabbit. Young German boy and the Hitler youth, whose hero and imaginary friends is the country's dictator, is shocked to discover that his mother is hiding a Jewish girl in there. This is literally one of the best comedies I've ever seen. It is a mix of comedy and true, just truth, and like, it is just amazing, and such a great film, and how he was able to blend drama and comedy so well. And but when I say he, I mean Tiki Waititi and everybody who worked on this. But it is literally amazing, and if you have not watched Jojo Rabbit, I recommend it so much. And it is hilarious. It is great, and it's not just a comedy though, because it was advertised as a comedy. I mean, I'm not going to spoil it or anything, but it's pretty dramatic at a few parts, but it is just a great movie, and it is truly shows the brutality of the Nazis, but it doesn't just disturb you to disturb you. It disturbs you to prove a point, and also to have comedy in it. And it's not necessarily disturbing, it's more sad. I mean, I guess it's like both. It's like disturbing and sad. Anyway, it is just really just a great movie, and if it's definitely in my top 50, you should definitely check it out. And yeah. Then I watched The Sound of Music. A young novitiate is sent by her convent in the 1930s Austria to become a governess to the 7 children of a widowed naval officer. Now, I absolutely love this movie. It's probably one of my favorite musicals. My 2 favorite musicals of all time is La La Land and this. Every song in this is just literally one of the greatest musical songs ever. It is so well made, so well directed. I love the usage of nature in this film, and just I love the locations and everything about it. It's truly a great film. It's just a great musical in general, and it's just a fun, happy film. And it's kind of similar to Jojo Rabbit in the way that there is kind of a scene that, shows you stuff about the Nazis. I mean, they're both films that both show you how bad the Nazis actually were, in both things. So, but it is just a literally fantastic movie. It's so fun. It's so great. It's just a great movie in general, and I highly recommend it. Alright, so that was what I watched in November, and now we're going to move on to December, so let's get it. Alright, so to start off in December, I watched The Wizard of Oz for, I believe, the first time of all. I might have watched it earlier when I was young, but I definitely didn't remember, so it's basically a fresh take on The Wizard of Oz. I think this movie is good. I don't think it's necessarily amazing. I think it's a little weird in terms of the set design and prop design. But I will admit, I think it is amazing how this was made in 1939, and it was way ahead of its time. I mean, that's why I say the set and costume design is weird. It's because, it was shot like a play, but it's literally just so ahead of its time, and amazing how they were able to implement color in it. And it is a pretty good movie. The plot's pretty straightforward. Young Dorothy, Gail, and her dog are swept today by a tornado from their Kansas farm to a magical land of Oz and embark on quest with 3 new friends to see the wizard who can return her to their home and fulfill the other's wishes. So I've actually read the book, and the book's better, but I definitely do like the movie as well. So then I watched Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. This was good. It's Rudolph. I don't know if I would call it, an absolute masterpiece. I think the stop motion is pretty good. I think it's good. I think it's fun. I think it's a great Christmas movie. I thought it was good. It was it's just a good family fun movie. I like how I like Rudolph. I like him. He's a good character. It's just a fun stop motion movie. I think the stop motion is pretty impressive, and it was ahead of its time in a way. But I think it's actually pretty good. Yeah. So then I watched Charlie Brown Christmas. I love Charlie Brown Christmas. It's one of my favorite Christmas movies, and I just love it. It's so much. I love all the characters of it. It's hilarious. It's just great. I gotta read the books or whatever. But I just think it's just a great movie. Great animated Christmas movie, and I would recommend it. Definitely would recommend Charlie Brown Christmas. It's a fun time. Yeah. The lives of 2 mob hitmen, a boxer, a gangster, and his wife, and a pair of dinner bandits intertwine in 4 tales of violence and redemption. Then I watched Pulp Fiction. Quite the change, huh? Anyway, I know it's kind of cliche for me to say this, but Pulp Fiction is a masterpiece. It's a great movie. It's I just love how it's has great dark humor. It's a great crime movie, and This fun fact was actually my first time seeing Pulp Fiction, so I wasn't like rewatching it or anything. This was literally my first time ever watching Pulp Fiction, so it was a fresh opinion, fresh thing, and I actually got to watch it in the theater, which was so cool because they were like replaying it, old movies, and that was just awesome. And it was really just a great movie. And throughout the years, Samuel Jackson is literally one of my favorite actors, and I also, even though Bruce Willis is kind of not a very good person in real life, he did great in this movie. Samuel Jackson did great in the story. Uma Thurman did great in this movie. John Travolta did great in this movie. Everybody did great in the movie. I mean, like, there's not really an actor in this movie I didn't think it was bad. Like, all the actors and actresses in this movie were literally amazing. I loved the poster. I love the movie. I just love Tarantino as a director. He's one of my favorite directors of all time. And I would definitely give this a watch. Now, I will say, this is not my favorite of Tarantino. There are other Tarantino movies I do like better, like my personal favorite is Inglourious Basterds. But that doesn't take away from the fact that it's still a masterpiece. I do really like it, and I definitely recommend checking it out, but I don't recommend it as much as his other films. It does lack a little bit of... I don't know if it lacks anything, but it more is just not really my type of film. It's more kind of, I'm not necessarily hugely into crime movies. I mean, this was a pretty good one. I don't know, but, I don't know. It was pretty, I'm not really sure. It's a good movie. I definitely recommend it. Then I watched Billy Jack. I love Billy Jack. Billy Jack's a great movie. I love the way how he's like a cowboy, and he's like a hippie cowboy. I just love Billy Jack as a character. He's such a great action character. I want to watch all the Billy Jack movies, but this one is really good. I love how it's kind of modern for the time for a Western. It's a really unique take on Westerns I haven't really seen before, and definitely recommend it. It's a great movie. Go check it out. Then I watched Appaloosa, the 2008 one. Two friends hired to police a small town that is suffering under the rule of a rancher find their job complicated by the arrival of a young widow. I thought this movie was great. It shows the friendship of two Western friends. It's a great Western movie, and it's just a lot of fun. It is just really good Western, although I did feel like it felt a little bit slow towards the ending, but I don't really care. I thought it was good. I like it. I definitely like it. It's well directed, well made Western. Would recommend. Alright, thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure to subscribe, leave a like. Sorry I've been postponing this and procrastinating or making this video for a while. Thank you guys for watching, and bye.